Welcome back, everyone. It is Monday, August 4th, and the MLB. Our three favorite plays are on the way. As always, it's Austin, joined by Logan. Unfortunately, Logan, no broom yesterday, but a 2-in-1 day will take that. We've lost a pick in August. You hate to see it, but another winning day for us. You had Orioles Cubs over 7.5. Some could argue you need a miracle to get that done, but you know what? We certainly take those after how our season's gone. And then Tigers' first 5 team total under 1.5. You would have taken that full game. They did not score a single run. Christopher Sanchez was cooking. Only loss was our strikeout sheet. Framber Valdez ended with 3. We needed 4, and it was a half unit play. So we can live with that. If we're going to lose one play on the card, we'll always choose the half unit play, the smallest one of the day. But let's keep things going today. And guess what starts in exactly 1 month from today? Yeah, you better believe it's going to be the NFL. So get ready for that. Again, we've talked about the Dub Club before. We're going to start posting the strikeout sheet exclusive to the Dub Club. So if you want to get in there, buy 1 month, get one free, $15 for the next 2 months. You'll get the first month of your NFL season for free. That'll carry you basically close to the NFL or NBA season, which starts obviously in October. Again, join that. We'll have some exclusive futures coming in there soon, and we'll have some exclusive, obviously, strikeout sheets exclusive and a bunch of other things. So again, get on in there. The link is down below at the top of the description. But Logan, we've been having a good formula. You do things first. I go second. Talk about the strikeout sheet third. Logan, take it away. The floor is yours.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. Let's stay hot today. And my favorite pick today is another full game over. And I'm taking the Orioles and Phillies over 8.5. Minus 120 odds on BetMGM is your best value there. Now I would play this one at 9, but I'd rather pay up to like minus 130-ish juice for the 8.5. We saw yesterday exactly what happened. My philosophy with that Cubs and Orioles game, I said I'd rather play the 7.5 to try to get a win at 8 rather than a push at 8. And we saw it end on 8 on the dot. Now, did that game take a miracle to cash you over? Yes. But I'd argue that given the amount of bad luck we've had this year, we were due a little bit of luck. That was really nice to see with a walk-off 2-run home run. The only way that over can cash in regular or not in extra innings was exactly that, which beautiful. Chef's kiss there. But now we're moving on to tonight. And the Phillies game yesterday was a snooze fest. So the Phillies had a snooze fest. That game barely went over. But I like a lot of runs to start this series in Citizens Bank Park. Why? Because the weather, first and foremost, is great for runs. I mean, in August, Philadelphia really is one of the more hitter-friendly ballparks. This ballpark should play like that today, according to Ballpark Pal. 22% increase in home runs. And it's hot, and the wind is blowing out. All of these factors, turn it into more of a launch pad, very hitter-friendly conditions. And then these two starting pitchers, I think, are pretty liable for some runs themselves. Let's talk about the Phillies first. It's Jesus Luzardo starting for the Phillies. 4.31 ERA, 1.37 WHIP for Jesus Luzardo. Now, the lefty's coming off a masterclass, and Austin would know this pretty well because he tried fading him in his last start, and he cooked. 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs versus the White Sox. Again, though, I really need to see Luzardo do it back-to-back. He's been pretty inconsistent this year. That's why his ERA's, in the mid-4s, just because he'll have a good start like that, and then he'll have a start where he can't put it all together. He'll have like the big inning in there where he gives up 3+ earned runs, and I think we could see that once again today. At Citizens Bank Park, Jesus Luzardo has not pitched well here. 5.31 ERA at home compared to a 3.36 ERA on the road. So again, you get the home road splits. He just doesn't pitch well at Citizens Bank Park, and it's not a park conducive to his game because he does allow a lot of hard contact, fly balls, and those go for home runs a lot of the time. Since the All-Star break, in 3 games, his ERA is up to a 5.4 post All-Star break. So he's not really coming into this game in great form, aside from cooking the White Sox. I mean, that's the White Sox lineup. It is what it is. They're hot and cold. They sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. I still think the Orioles will show up today because with runners in scoring position, Luzardo's allowing a 290 batting average. It's really high. 284 batting average allowed with men on. He doesn't pitch well out of the stretch. And this Orioles team, yes, are on paper. Are they a good lineup? I'd argue no. There's a lot to be desired as far as their lineup, just like on the eyeball test. But what I do know is they're a very aggressive team on the bases. They're going to try to steal. They're going to try to get into scoring position against Luzardo. And I mentioned he doesn't pitch that well out of the stretch. And after seeing yesterday where the Orioles took a little bit of magic from Ryan Noda yesterday, I think anything's possible with this Orioles offense. I'm really not asking for a whole lot from them today. If they give me 3+ runs themselves, I think that can carry us to an over because I think the Phillies are going to score a lot themselves. And who do they face today? They face Cade Povich, who starts for the Orioles, 5.15 ERA and a 1.5 WHIP. Now, this season hasn't been great for Austin and I, but what has paid is anytime I normally fade Cade Povich, that ends up being a success. I think this guy's just not an elite MLB pitcher. I mean, he's shown that. I don't think that's crazy. This is also his first start since June 15th. He's been rehabbing. His rehab starts didn't even go all that well either. I was looking kind of through those logs. So how is he going to pitch once again at a major league level? I don't really think it's going to be all that great for him. This is a very tough spot to come into Citizens Bank Park against a very, daunting Phillies offense who knows how to hit left-handed pitching at home. His expected ERA is a 6.33 expected ERA. So what's crazy is like his ERA is not great, and the expected numbers are even worse. His hard hit percentage is first percentile. His barrel percentage is second percentile. Cade Povich leaves a lot of pitches right over the middle of the plate. And these Phillies hitters should be able to know what to do with them. Anytime Charlie Morton was making any sort of mistake pitches, they were hitting them hard last night. They just didn't have a whole lot of runs to show for it. At home, the Phillies are hitting 265 versus lefties this season. They crush left-handed pitching at home. It's what they do. Hopefully they can do that once again with Cade Povich. Over the last 2 weeks, we go to the bullpens. Phillies 26th in bullpen ERA, Orioles 17th in bullpen ERA. Thank you, Keegan Aiken, yesterday for what you did in that Orioles bullpen, allowing us to cash that over. But there are a lot of very suspect bullpen arms in each of these two bullpens. I could see several run opportunities late. I really do. I think both these starters give up a few runs themselves. Cade Povich probably a lot more than Jesus, hopefully. And then we can get the rest in the bullpens. I love this as my favorite pick of the day. Hopefully they bring the bats today in Citizens Bank Park. Love that over as my favorite pick. But Austin, you got a full game pick. Where are you going?
I'm starting the first game of a series on the other side of the country with an over as well, as I'm heading out to Coors Field, where we're taking the over in the Blue Jays and Rockies game at 11.5 minus 115 on BetMGM, a 1-unit play. This isn't my favorite card of the day, but I really do like this pick. Sometimes the first game of series, you get a lot of different things, whether it's teams traveling, things like that. The Rockies will stay home, and the Blue Jays will have to travel after a hard-fought series against the Royals, but I still trust them to go out there and score well against the Rockies. I hope the Rockies offense shows up to play, given this is their fourth or fifth straight home game. But let's talk to these two pitchers, Eric Lauer and Tanner Gordon, both guys that realistically I could see when you pull up this game and you're like in the fourth inning, one of these starters could have given up 4 or 5 earned runs. And then we're looking at some bullpen arms that have been very suspect as of late, hence why I really like the over in this game. Now, if you look at these two teams and you look at these two starting pitchers, we're going to look at Tanner Gordon first and foremost. You look at him, he hasn't started a ton this year or last season, but he's facing a daunting task against the Rockies. We know since July 1st, the Blue Jays ranked first in WRC plus batting average versus righties. They do have some injuries like George Springer's out, but again, they still have their talented guys in there. Gordon's allowing a 367 batting average to right-handed batters, which is important because we think about Vladdy, we think about Bo Bichette. Those are the 3 and 4 hitters. So again, those are the guys coming up with guys on base. We need timely hits. Same thing for Alejandro Kirk. Now it would be nice if Springer was in there, but it's not like Tanner Gordon's cooking lefties. He's still giving up like a 300 on base percentage to them. And he also owns a 7.5 hits allowed line. Like you don't get 7.5 hits allowed line just for fun. They don't give those to just, for fun out there. If you got one of those, I'd be shocked if he didn't at least give up 5 or 6 hits. He's even need to give up 8 to cash that. 5 or 6 to see the Blue Jays get him for 2, 3, 4 earned runs. And then we turn it over to Eric Lauer, who, if I'm looking at props on the board, one that sticks out like a sore thumb, Eric Lauer's 3.5 earned runs line. Lauer has yet to allow 4 earned runs this season. Now, you could say, Austin, just hammer the under on the earned runs. But look, when you see a hit rate like that this far into the season, feels like the books are kind of onto something. I think Eric Lauer could get tagged here for a lot of runs. Let's talk about him. Lauer, like I said, has been pretty good this season, but he has pitched a long time in majors, so some regression is going to come eventually. And what I'd like to see, 6th percentile in ground ball percentage and 39th in hard hit percentage. So again, he doesn't get a lot of ground balls, and that can be a problem when you're in Coors Field. If you're hanging pitches, the Rockies have shown the ability to do something with them. All season long, maybe not. But since July 1st, the Rockies own the 4th lowest K rate, the 3rd highest batting average, at 1st in slugging, and 5th in WRC plus versus left-handed pitchers. So again, they've hit lefties well, they've hit them hard, which is what we're looking for here today. And then when we look at the last lefty to face the Rockies was Andrew Heaney. He didn't even make it out of the fourth inning. And what was that game? That was the 17-16 game. So again, they've hit lefties pretty hard. And when you look at Lauer, he's been around the block. And I get it, different pitcher probably this year than he was 5 years ago. But in Coors Field, the man has struggled. Look at these numbers. In Coors Field, he has thrown 23 career innings. He owns a 12.73 ERA in those 23 innings, a 2.61 whip, and a near 400 batting average allowed. So Eric Lauer has really struggled in Coors. I don't remember when the last time he pitched there was, and sure, the lineups are much different. I get that, but maybe his pitch arsenal and his pitch mix just does not fit in the altitude of Coors Field. You have great hitting conditions there. I think there's runs against these starters. And even if there aren't, you turn it over to these two bullpens, you might be able to get some runs late. And we should be. Since the All-Star break, July 18th, so the last 2 weeks, give or take, the Rockies are 28th in an ERA at 7.16 for the bullpen. The Blue Jays are one of the two teams that are worse than them, 29th out of 7.26. So again, I look at these two offenses. I think there's runs against the starters. I think there's runs on the bullpens. I don't know if it's a 17-16 game, but I think one of these two teams could pop off for 6 or 7 or even 8 runs. And then we're looking at the other team to contribute some. And if one of these starters gets rocked, you're not going to see the higher leverage arms. I don't know if the Rockies have a high leverage arm, but the Blue Jays have. They sort of think they have some. I don't know if it's going to happen today. The Blue Jays also played an extra innings game yesterday, a tight one where they used a lot of their higher leverage arms there. Are they available a second straight day? I have no idea. But again, I think there's runs in this Blue Jays Rockies game. I'll take the over 11.5. And our third and final play of the day, like I said, is our strikeout hit rate sheet posted exclusively to the Dub Club. We're going to do it for the rest of the season, where if the video hits 500 likes, we'll post it in the pinned comment. So we're not going to post it originally when the video drops, but if you manage to hit this video at 500 likes, you come back to it, we'll drop it in that pinned comment. I'll be checking the like tally on the video as the day goes on. So again, we have no early starts. So 500 likes, balls in your court to get the exclusive strikeout sheet, which has been paying pretty frequently. I don't know the exact hit rate on it, but it's been absolutely cashing us out. We're posting it down below. Check it out. But make sure you hit this video. Hit that like button. Simple as that. Ball is in your court. So to recap the card, with Logan's over in the Phillies Orioles game, my over in the Rockies Blue Jays game, and the strikeout sheet for a half unit that we posted right now exclusively to the Dub Club and the CLS Hall of Famers. If you go and become a member on YouTube, you click the CLS Hall of Famers tab, or you just got to hit this video to 500 likes. Simple. Let's have ourselves a great Monday. Let's keep cooking in August. And like I said, NFL right around the corner, 1 month from today is opening game of the NFL. So get hyped for that. You want to join the Dub Club, get all the exclusive flicks, including the Dub Club sheet, including some futures, which will be posted probably not this week, maybe next week or so. Join. We'll see you guys back again in the next one. See you guys then. Peace.